In this lecture, I will discuss some of the basic concepts of environmental modeling. This course is introduced to familiarize our MSc Environmental Technology students and PhD research scholars as a part of their coursework so that they have some glimpses upon the professional practical application of the theory and the practice they learned during their curriculum days for choosing environmental science as a profession to work as environmental experts, environmental engineers, and environmental scientists. As an introduction, I will tell you that why environmental modeling as a course? Because environmental experts, engineers, and scientists has an important role to play in designing process, help to improve the functioning of the environment. Example, to identify and propose and maintain proper scientific remedies to maintain the quality of the system they are appointed. For example, they were asked to design high-performing wastewater treatment plants if they are working as water chemists. A lot of scientific knowledge is required in designing air filter systems for the minimization of impact in the environment, such as production of degradable and reusable products, control of greenhouse gases and green technologies, for the design optimization and process control. An environmental scientist requires mastery over different subjects of physics, chemistry, mathematics, statistics, of course, mastery over language. Then only they can find out proper solutions. To find out a proper solution, we need to understand what is the major cause and reasons for such a issue. That means an environmental scientist must have some deep knowledge on the process brought about by the changes by the humanity over the years on the functioning of the natural environmental systems. Environmental process consists of complex interactions between physical, chemical, and biological process. That means an environmental scientist must have a deep knowledge on the fundamental principles of science. The complex natural interactions can be expressed in terms of simple scientific and engineering techniques of mass and energy balances relationships. Because each and every process occurring in nature, even if it is a physical process or chemical process or a complex environmental process, realistically is a manifestation of a mathematical relationship. Each and every process occurring in nature can be expressed in terms of a mathematical relationship. You know that Even the universe is an expression or a manifestation of a mathematical formula. Even the microbial and population kinetics can be represented. We can study identifying the proper mathematical relationship. You are familiar with principles of thermodynamics in physics and chemistry. The very learned and discussed transport process such as diffusion, interface, mass transfer phenomena can be expressed in terms of fixed law of diffusion or mass transfer coefficients. These are the common terms everywhere discussed in environmental engineering systems. Almost each and every chemical reactions and biochemical reactions are expressed in terms of balanced mathematical relationship known as balanced chemical equations. Mass and heat transfer occurring in physical systems. Of course, in chemistry, each and every process can be described in terms of stoichiometry, molar relationship, and relationship among the coefficients involved in chemical reactions. These mathematical equations or mathematical expressions are otherwise known as mathematical models. The fundamental and professional application of these mathematical models are known as mathematical modeling. If it is put in environmental science, environmental reactor systems, the science is known as environmental modeling. Environmental models are realistically mathematical models. Otherwise, they are the expressions of mathematical equations. So, mathematical model means a mathematical relationship. When these mathematical relationships are used to express environmental systems, then mathematical models are defined as environmental models. Mathematical models can prove to be an excellent way of presenting complex ideas. You know, it is very difficult to define a complex system, a natural system. By understanding the various steps involved and designating a mathematical equation for each and every steps, we can simply define each and every process occurring in a very complex environmental system. So, mathematical modeling can prove to be an excellent way of presenting complex ideas in an efficient form. Mathematical model can tie together knowledge materials, different kind of ideas, different kind of knowledge into a more unified and understandable package used for the purpose of prediction, process, control, design, education and management. The process can be expressed, can be studied by writing the exact pathway of the process in the form of mathematical relationship. We can make predictions. We can study the process. We can use software for simulation. The graph can be generated using the software. If the data, the process can be identified, can be generated in the form of data. The data can be utilized for the simulation of the graphical expressions. From the graphs, you can calculate the constants and parameters. Depending upon the magnitude of the constants and parameters, we can make the predictions. What happens to the process after a period of time? What are the precautions to be taken to control the systems? What are the parameters that regulates the action as well as the warning level of the process, if it is put into in the form of control charts, Shewhart's control chart, especially you studied in your chemometric classes. Even then, a process that is expressed in the form of a mathematical formula cannot replace sound experimental techniques and data. That means, identifying a mathematical relationship of a particular process, you can study the process in advance, saving the time, cost, so the decision can be taken very, very fast. But you cannot replace a sound experimental technique. The data can be generated, predictions can be made, then the trial and error can be put into minimum. Then the final stages of the implementation can be done in a single step. So the advancement is most favorable for us. The time spending in an experimental work in the lab can be minimized. The decision can be taken in advance. The control measures can be suggested in advance. This is the significance and importance of mathematical models in science. In environmental engineering systems, mathematical models work on the basic principles of engineering science. Engineering principles can be applied to the study of natural process. That is why environmental engineering papers are included in our curriculum. The natural process such as the water flow in rivers and lakes, we want to know. Then only the proper decision can be taken. The availability of fresh water in a nearby river is most important in proposing a major industrial project on its banks. The development of a new city on the bank of a riverine system is very important because the availability of the fresh water to meet the domestic purpose. The quality of the water to treat to the quality of potable water is very important. Otherwise, the community cannot depend upon that. As well as the transport of solute through soil formations and mixing water in natural water bodies. When the fresh water is mixed with contaminated water or the wastewater streams from the nearby industries, how the aeration and re-aeration of the water in the natural environment replenishes it determines the freshwater availability. How these natural systems can be identified and studied? For that, we have to classify the process occurring in the natural environment into different simple forms. We categorize the process occurring in the natural environment to which category it belongs. For an environmental engineer or environmental scientist, his perception is like that each and every process occurring in nature is a manifestation of a mathematical formula. Each and every process requires a three-dimensional space. In a three-dimensional space, if a process is going on, that space is known as a reactor, according to thermodynamic principles. So any process occurring in nature at a specified region is a reactor. That region, the space, is designated as a reactor. So in environmental modeling applications in systems, each and every process occurring in nature is designated. Either it is in the form of a tank reactor or in the form of tubular reactor. A tank reactor is just like our beaker or an overhead tank. It has a specified volume. It has a system so that the mass can be flow into the tank, so that the concentration can be measured. If mass is flowing to the tank, the volume is flowing to the tank, the soluble substrate also is there. The dissolved substrate concentration from the chemist point of view is measured. Number of moles present in liters, that is moles per liter. That is molar concentration, number of moles of the substrate or reactants are present per liter of the solution. In this slide, I show you a tank reactor, a virtual tank reactor. It has the dimension of a cube in three-dimensional space having a constant volume V, and it has an inlet concentration of the substrate Ca0. A is the substrate. Suppose two substrates are involved in a chemical reaction, A plus B gives C. The concentration of A can be designated as Ca0 because 0 is the inlet concentration, that is the initial concentration of the substrates reaching into the tank reactor. I have mentioned that tank reactor is a volumetric system, has a fixed dimension, it has a constant volume, it is a volume holding tank, it has a definite capacity to hold the substrate concentration. If the capacity is over, the substrate will discharge the excess amount of the substrate to an outlet region. So a tank reactor has an inlet region, a volume holding region, as well as an outlet region. Inlet flow rate is Q0. Number of cubic meter of the fluid is entering into the tank per hour or per second. It may be expressed in cubic meter per second. Usually in environmental engineering system, flow rate is expressed as cubic meter per second. Here CO0 is the dissolved substrate concentration. That is dissolved substrate concentration. How many moles of the substrate A is dissolved in cubic meter of the solution. The solution reaches into the tank. There is a stirring facility to mix it so that the tank is known as a constantly stirred tank reactor. So it is an expression for CSTR, constantly stirred tank reactor. V is the total volume capacity of the tank reactor. It continuously, the substrate is entering into the tank and it is get filled into the rim. If the excess amount is there, it can be released through the outlet. So Q1 is the outlet concentration, Ca1 is the outlet concentration. This Ca enters into the tank, the excess is going out as the outlet concentration Ca1. V is the total volume. The outlet concentration is same, the concentration maintained within the tank, provided there is no reaction. So this is the symbol representation of a tank reactor. It is in environmental engineering system, it is a holding tank. It is otherwise, since a continuous mechanical stirring facility is there, it is a constantly stirred tank reactor, that is CSTR. Stirring is otherwise expressed as a mixing, so it is a CMTR, constantly mixed tank reactor. A tank associated with the inlet flow systems and outlet flow systems, together known as the balance region. Why? In each and every process, total mass remains constant. If the mass is flowing into the tank and the mass is going out of the tank, the total mass remains constant. So it is a mass balance region. The total mass is balanced. The rate of accumulation of mass within the tank, continuously the substrate is entering into the tank and it is filling. When it is filled and the excess is going out, the rate of accumulation mass in the tank is equal to mass flow into the tank minus mass flow out of the tank. So this mass balance is continuously maintained because this process occurs according to very concerted mathematical principle. The total mass remains constant. The total mass of the substrate entering into the tank is equal to the total mass maintained in the tank and the total mass flowing out of the tank. So this is a representation of a tank reactor.